Welcome back to ABC24 This Week. We literally are just confirming some terrible news for the Governor Lee. In fact, we were just talking about him in the last segment that his mother passed away today. In fact, he was scheduled to come to Memphis for a couple of different functions and was not able to make it because of that, obviously. You actually know Ann Lee.
Yes.
Talk about her.
I've known Ann Lee since I was a little girl, and family friends, and very sweet, very kind, wonderful woman, and my heart goes out to our governor, his family, and my memories of Ann will always be very, very fond.
Yeah. Condolences to the family.
The whole family, for sure. Let's move on to the county mayor's race. There's a lot of filings that are required if you're going to run for a countywide office, and one of those is who you're going to appoint as treasurer of your campaign. So there's a form that everybody has to fill out to kind of get the process started. It's a good way of letting everybody know, hey, I'm serious, and I'll probably start making money soon or fundraising soon. So here are those who have filed that form. Shelby County Assessor Melvin Burgess has. The CAO under County Mayor Lee Harris, Harold Collins, who's been a former city councilman, has filed this form. Businessman and philanthropist J.W. Gibson, who ran for mayor, the city of Memphis mayor in the last election, has filed the form. And city councilman J.B. Smiley has as well. So those are the four people we know of so far that are pretty serious enough to file the form. There are others that we're hearing about too, but let's first talk about these four, and why don't you all each give me your opinion on just who you think has got the best prowess to maybe get some skin in the game and catch some attention.
Of the big four that I saw on the screen, I would think Harold Collins is going to hold somewhat of an edge as the sitting CAO of the city.
We assume he's going to get Lee Harris's endorsement, I would think.
Well, I would hope he would get his boss's endorsement. If he doesn't, then I just rescind everything I said. But if your boss keeps you around and then doesn't support you,
then you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. So I think Harold, of those four, I'll come back and reserve my comments later as to why I think one or two of them who may have thought they were a lot stronger than they are, may be falling off as of recent events that have unfolded.
Okay.
And I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Susan, what is your take on those four names?
Well, I'm not so sure that endorsements these days carry that much weight. I don't even care, especially if it's your boss. I think that I hold my powder dry for all of them until I see who's out there raising money. And I think money is going to be the key to this, and whoever raises the most money is going to wind up being in the top 2 or 3.
Well, for one of those four names, J.W. Gibson, that's not an issue for him. He's got plenty of money, as we saw in the mayor's race.
Well, but the question is, does he want to fund his own race?
Right. All right. Otis, what's your take on those
Well,
four?
I agree. It's not too early for us to be talking about it because that's what we do.
That's what this show's all about.
But I think it's too early, certainly for me, to try to handicap it.
Yeah.
What I'm doing right now is looking at past performances. And in past performances, if you think that is a barometer, don't sleep on Melvin Burgess. Melvin Burgess has won every race he's run in, county commission and assessor. His last assessor's race in 2022, he got 61% of the vote in a county-wide race, whereas the others haven't really run in a county-wide race except for J.W. Gibson, and he came in like 3rd or 4th.
Right.
So I just think that let's see where we are several months from now, to Susan's point, when the money is being raised and the attention is getting there. But let's not sleep on Melvin Burgess just yet.
No.
Okay.
And those were the two who I would say had the front runner role, but he asked us to pick one. You picked one, I picked one,
And I refused
and you refused to pick one.
Thanks for your cooperation,
Yeah,
Susan.
but let's get to the others, because these other 3 that seem to be talking about it may make a difference.
It can shift everything.
I only have 2 others
Right.
for this next graphic. Van Turner, the former head of the NAACP and county commissioner, and Mikkel Lowry, also a county commissioner, rumored to wanting to get in but have not filed this paperwork as of yet. What was your take?
My take on this one is that you're right, previous performances will matter, and I think what happened in the last city mayor's race will carry over for Van. If that energy and enthusiasm doesn't go up 2 or 3 degrees, then this is going to be a very difficult race. Remember, there's a primary here, and you have to come out of a primary when there are 5 or 6 people who might be in this, and they all draw from the same voter base for the most part. Mikkel, who who would be a fresh face in this particular race, who is a sitting county commissioner, does hold some strong appeal. People really like Mikhail Lowry. He has been that guy that would stand by his vote. If he said he was for it, he was for it. If he was against it, he was against it. But he may be the difference maker in this particular run.
Susan?
I agree with him, and I think.
And is there a name I'm leaving out, by the way? Let's
Yes,
start
there
with the
is.
Democrats.
I keep hearing that Heidi Kuhn, who's criminal court clerk, she's interested in
Okay.
getting in the race. But I think that Mikhail Lowry carries that Paul Young image of being young, works at FedEx. He's a go-getter. He's a very impressive guy. So he could be a real factor. You can't discount Van Turner and the power he built among the constituents in that mayor's race. So I think that those two can make it very difficult for those first four. And if Heidi Kuhn gets in, I hope she's not getting in thinking that the women, she'll get the female vote, because that's just not how it goes.
As we've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Although I am looking to see what other women will get into this race. The pictures we put up there are, this is a male-dominated campaign, and I'm not really feeling all of that. I hope Heidi does get into the
Yeah.
race. She's very popular. She's a crossover candidate.
Absolutely.
And so I think she would be good. I would not be surprised to see some others get into the race. Maybe Michelle McKissick might get into the race. I wouldn't be surprised by that. And also Shantae Avant. She has done well as a county commissioner.
Sure.
Ran strong campaigns in her county commissioner's races. So, I mean, let's get some gender in here and see if that is effective in this campaign.
Nobody speculates better than we do.
We're good at that.
And we'll have to talk about
I'm all for the gender.
We'll have to talk about the Republican side on another show.
No
but,
DEI.
No. I didn't go down that road.
well, thanks you three for being here today. We appreciate it. Thanks to you at home as well. We'll see you next week for ABC24 This Week.